Standout scorelines from Leg 2 of the UEFA third qualifying rounds. The first completed tie this week was out east in Kazakhstan, but not the usual place. SC Kairat were hosts of Levski Sofia, but unable to use their central stadium due to a Kanye West concert. They played the second leg around 700 kilometers west in a city called Turkestan. The main story here, though, is Levski Sofia, completing a home and away double of 1-0 wins and progressing to the playoff round. 2026 is proving a year of breaking ducks to Levski. They've won their first Bulgarian title since 2009, secured their third season of UEFA group stage football since 2010, and are now certain of at least the Europa League's league phase after beating Kairat. Levski will meet AEK Athens over the next 2 weeks for a shot at the Champions League main stage. Not long after, another moment of history for a much younger club. Saba, the 8-year-old Mazazir outfit, are still going in their debut Champions League campaign. 2-1 down to the away leg with Danish champions AGF, they've recorded a 4-0 battering on home soil to turn the tie around and progress to the UCL playoff round. A minimum guarantee now of Europa League football till late January, and it could be Champions League instead if they win their final qualifying tie. That playoff round tie will be against the reigning Israeli champions Hapoel Be'er-Sheva, who recorded the scalp of the round by winning both legs against Serbian heavyweight Crvena Zvezda. It's 4 years since they last appeared in the UEFA group stage, the 22-23 Conference League. Slovenian champions NK Celje have made their European mark the last 2 seasons with runs to the knockout rounds of the Conference League. Now, after a second leg turnaround against Ararat Armenia, the Counts are certain of an upgrade, guaranteed to be at the minimum in the Europa League's league phase in 26-27. Norwegian runners-up Bodø Glimt and Belgian runners-up Royal Union Saint-Gilloise have produced what might go down as the best tie of all of UEFA qualifying this season. It was already 3-3 after leg 1 in Belgium, and we've had a third of 5 goals and 120 minutes at Asmira. USJ forced the extra period with an 88th minute equaliser, soon going down to 10, and a fortuitous goal from Andreas Helmerson in the 117th minute has sent Glimt through. 3-2 on the night, 6-5 on aggregate. Bodø will face the exciting Eredivisie surprise package NEC next week in the hunt for a second straight UCL League phase appearance. The other teams through to the UCL playoff rounds and certain of at least the Europa League's league phase are Dinamo Zagreb, Fenerbahce, NEC Nijmegen, Olympique Lyonnais and SK Slovan Bratislava. After the league pass defeats, Olympiakos, Royal Union Saint-Gilloise, SK Sturm Graz and Sparta Praha will be in the Europa League's league phase lineup. Europa League action on Thursday included 6 goals in Limassol. Pathos SC and Red Bull Salzburg drew 3-3, the Austrian visitors winning 4-3 on aggregate to set up a playoff round tie with Mjölby. The games continued an eventful summer through experienced Bosnian striker Haris Tabakovic. The 32-year-old was in the Bosnian squad for the recent World Cup, eventually getting to make his tournament debut from the bench against the United States. He has since left Hoffenheim for Salzburg and been integral to their progression in this tie. Tabakovic scored all 4 of Salzburg's goals over these 2 legs, including a crucial second-half hat-trick on Thursday, which put the aggregate back in the Red Bull outfit's favour. We are now guaranteed to have 2 Sofia clubs across the 3 league phase lineups. With Levski certain of either Champions League or Europa League football, their city rivals CSKA Sofia have earned themselves a guarantee of either Europa League or Conference League football. They made a meal of it in their tie with Maccabi Tel Aviv, 3-0 up after the first leg in neutral Georgia, but beaten 3-1 back home and sneaking through 4-3 on aggregate. Midfielder Stefano Sensi's goals proved pivotal in giving CSKA a first UEFA group stage guarantee since the inaugural Conference League season of 21-22. Derek McInnes remains winless as new Rangers manager and is now out of the Europa League at the first attempt, held 1-1 at Ibrox and beaten 3-2 on aggregate by Jagiellonian Białystok. The Glasgow Giants will now play Conference League football for the first time in the playoff round, but the better story here is Jagiellonia, UECL knockout participants for the last 2 seasons and in with a real shot now of a Europa League upgrade as they face Georgian champions Iberia 1999 next week. Europa League on Thursday brought history to KF Ignatia, the champions of Albania for the last 3 seasons. After a 5-1 home crushing of Shamrock Rovers, turning their tie around and winning 6-4 on aggregate, the Rogozina outfit are now certain of playing in the UEFA League phase for the very first time. They'll play Norway's Lillestrøm to see if it will be at Europa League or Conference League level. The first Conference League tie completed this week was an eventful second leg in Cyprus on Tuesday. Apollon Limassol have brought a 1-0 lead back to the Mediterranean against SK Bran, but have still failed to get through. The Norwegian 4th placers led for most of this second leg, but still needed to react in stoppage time to force an extra 30 minutes. 3 further goals in the extra period, including a key fourth to Bran, who ended the match down to 10. 4-2 to SK Bran on the night, a 4-3 aggregate win. Into the playoff round and a tie against Greek side PAOK. Andorra have never had a team play in the group stage of one of UEFA's 3 major competitions before, but that could soon change. Their reigning champions Interclub Descaldes are making full use of their previous bye, reaching the UECL playoff round for the first time after a 6-0 demolition of Estonia's SC Flora over 2 legs. It's their biggest ever aggregate victory in European competition. They'll meet with Kosovo champions Drita in the final qualifying round, who recorded a huge 9-1 aggregate victory over Samarinese minnows Tre Theori. SC Vaduz will not carry the Liechtenstein flag any further into Europe. A 2-2 home draw this week and a 4-3 aggregate defeat. The story here, though, is their opponents. Inter Turku from the southwest coast of Finland are further extending their record European campaign. This is the club that before this season had never won a UEFA qualifying tie. They have now won 3 in a row and will meet with Danish giants SC Copenhagen in the playoff round to try and claim a seismic scalp. The biggest aggregate wins across all 3 competitions were Dinamo Zagreb 7, Kaunas Žalgiris 1 in the UCL, Benfica 7, Hearta Midlothian 2 in the UEL, and in the UECL, Drita 9, Tre Theori 1, Interclub Descaldes 6, SC Flora 0, Hajduk Split 9, FK Žalgiris 2, SC Nordsjælland 7, Valor 0, SC St Gallen 8, Sheriff Tiraspol 2, Tromsø 7, CFR Cluj 1, SK Rapid Wien 6, Paida Lina Miskond 1, SC Copenhagen 8, Debrecen 1, and SC Twente 9, DAC Danijska Streda 3. In total, just 2 third qualifying round ties went to penalties, both of them in the Conference League. In the Champions path, Belarus's Emil Vitebsk, a European debutant this season, forced penalties with Bosnia's Borac Banja Luka after a 125th minute goal, only to lose their shootout 4-2 after 9 total kicks. 9 total penalties too in Vienna, where FK Austria Wien got past Israel's Beitar Jerusalem after a 3-3 aggregate draw. 6 out of 8 weeks down, we're nearly there now with confirming the full UEFA League phase lineups. It's the playoff rounds to come next.